everyone! For those who are new to my channel, welcome! I'm Mari. So after the last few videos where I started to do voiceovers, I thought it might be nice to actually make videos focused around my artist journey and some of the struggles I've faced as well as what I've learned in the process. This is sharing my experience, which may or may not be helpful to you all. But if anything, I thought it would be nice to let people in similar spots know that they aren't alone. My video on getting out of my own way was technically my first one, I think, since it was the start of this journey, but this is the first official entry. So for this one, I wanted to talk about something I struggled with, the fact that my journey is different from your journey, meaning there's no point in comparing myself to others because everyone's journeys are unique, as well as how that feeds into the development of style. For a long time, I used to beat myself up looking at other artists, thinking about how amazing they were, and looking at my own work and tearing into it because it wasn't at that level. Sometimes I was feeling down because I didn't have the same resources they did, or tools, or whatever it might have been, but that should never stop a person from creating and doing what you want. It's about what you can do with what you have and what you can do to move forward. You can create art with anything, pretty much, and there's no right way. I think this self-criticism began after I discovered the online art world at the age of 12. I remember this because on DeviantArt you needed to be 13 to open an account, so I said I was a year older. First off, it was amazing to see all this art, and I even got to know some orkaki boards, which were really fun. For those who don't know what that is, an orkaki board basically was an online art forum that also had an in-browser drawing tool, so you could create your art there, post it, and you'd all comment and stuff. Super fun. Sometimes really infuriating because computers sucked back then, and sometimes you lost hours of work. If anyone remembers those times, high five! I haven't been able to find anyone who knows what that is. Anyways, the online art community was inspiring and I really fell in love with anime art. I think without that influence, I probably wouldn't be drawing what I do now. It was really supportive and nurturing, and people often praised me for being good for my age. That was something people did as I grew up, saying I was talented, and oh man, I want to make a whole other entry just on that concept alone. I get so heated thinking about it. Wait for it, cause I swear I'll make one. But it meant a lot to me to hear that from these other amazing artists. But what I did after that is where the downward spiral began. I started feeling like I needed to maintain that expectation, so I pressured myself to become better. I'd look at an artist I admire and tell myself I want to be at her level or beyond by age whatever. So it became like a race that I could never win because my art would never be what someone else's is because I'm a different person. My journey wasn't her journey. I believe that art is a way to express who you are and to capture how you see the world and your experiences. Even if you draw characters and stuff, how you choose to portray them, how you render them, what that character is like, is based, at least in part, on your experiences. And the specifics of style, that's built up over years of liking and learning from other artists. And sometimes what can influence you isn't even directly art related. It could be your favorite TV show or movie, the way everything looks at a certain time of day, your favorite game, the fact that you love food or sports or whatever it may be, the architecture or natural features where you live, like maybe you love the beach or forest or mountains nearby, maybe a certain design aesthetic, your favorite colors, or the colors of your hometown, all the days you spent chasing bugs as a kid. See, all these different type of things can affect what you draw and how, because they affect what you're naturally drawn to. Even the reason of why you draw can affect your art. For me, I draw and paint because it's fun and relaxing, and it gives me a way to express myself and a way to remember little moments in my life. For others, they might have a totally different reason, and because of that, they might choose to draw other subject matter. For every artist, those influences and experiences differ because no one life is like another. This is why my journey isn't your journey and your journey isn't mine. Even when it comes to process, what's right for you is different than what's right for me. For example, I really like the bold use of color from an artist I found recently. So I decided to try her process out and quickly realized it was not for me because it just didn't feel right. It didn't have the pieces of the process that I realized I loved about making art. What was interesting was that it was really similar to a process that I used to use several years ago, but now wasn't right for me. It's important to understand why you like someone's art and find your own way to incorporate that aspect into your art. Sometimes maybe parts of their process really do work for you, and that's great. But if they don't despair. There's still a lot to gain by understanding what you like. For me, I realized that I love color and bold use of color. So now it's something I'm working to incorporate when appropriate for a certain piece. I challenge myself to be a bit bolder, a bit more colorful, because that's what I like. It's important to listen to what you actually like, not what you feel you should like or should do. Again, there is no right way to make art. By doing this, you get closer to finding your unique voice in art, and that becomes expressed as your style. It's a slow process that can't be rushed. Sometimes you may already have a style and just don't realize it. I'm starting to understand that the journey itself is a beautiful and fun ride, even if it's frustrating at times. I'm really glad to be here and glad to be finally taking a proper look around instead of blindly running towards a mirage. It was hard to come to terms with the fact that because I beat myself up so much, I didn't actually make much progress. I became lost because I wasn't looking within, I was looking at everyone else. I was worrying about what everyone else thought or meeting their expectations, but I never asked myself what I actually wanted. And I had become so lost, I didn't know the answer. I'm still in the process of understanding that about myself, but that's the kind of art journey I'm on. I've been enthralled by the process of making art instead of obsessing over the outcome. I started to understand how different factors of my life, like self-care, fed into my art. So I actually have been putting more effort to take better care of myself so that I could be in a better mental/physical space and draw even better. I've been allowing myself to explore, to try, to fail, and to learn. I hope to continue to share my realizations and learnings with you. I think to some people, maybe these thoughts sound silly because maybe to you it was totally obvious. But I think that there are a lot of other people out there who struggle like I did and still do. I'd really love to hear about your experiences in the comments below. Thanks for watching my video. Please like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell button too to be notified of my next updates. If you like my art, you can follow me on Instagram. You can also support me on Patreon, where I share my art journey and exclusive content I don't post anywhere else. Some of that exclusive content includes things like phone and desktop wallpapers, as well as coloring pages or basically line art that you can practice with. You could also become my pen pal if you'd like. Along with the letter, I'll also send doodles, postcard prints, or other little things that fit and pertain to our conversation. There's 2 slots left. Check out my Patreon for details. Alrighty, I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Dare to do what your heart desires and have fun! Bye everyone!